What's up, everybody? I'm Michael Allen, and this is the Movie Minute. This episode of the Movie Minute, we're talking about Marky Mark's new film, Arthur the King. So let's jump in and check it out. This movie, it's heartwarming, obviously. If you're a dog lover, you're obviously interested in this film. It's actually based on a true story. It's based on the story of Michael Lindord, who was an adventure racer, and he did run into this kind of dog on this famous adventure race. And so the whole film is pulled from this guy's memoir, and it definitely, it has that heartwarming nature of a based on a true story film. It all based on true story films, they have a unique quality to them because you obviously know as an audience member going in that this really happened. And that does make a difference when you're going to see a movie. It unlocks a little place in your heart that really is kind of like, oh, this is going to give me the feels because these are real people and this is a real story about a dog who helped somebody. And so obviously, like if you're an animal lover, this is a film you're kind of interested in, right? So the gist of the story is Michael is this kind of stubborn adventure racer who has been really good for a really long time, but he's never truly won the top prize. He's never won the big race. He's always been a top finisher, but never first, right? And he just feels like he needs to do this. He's getting older. He's not young like a lot of the guys in these races are. And so he's feeling a little bit less than. And his wife kind of encourages him, hey, if you really feel like you need to do this, you should go do this. So he goes about building one last team to kind of compete in this race. In parallel with that, we meet Arthur, who is this dog, and they do a good job in the beginning of kind of letting us know who Arthur is, because there's definite parallels in the film between where the dog is in his life and where Michael is at in his life, and I really enjoyed that parallel. So they go on this race, and there's a lot of beautiful scenery and cool stunts and all sorts of things happening, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. So let's jump into the things that I liked. So the biggest thing that Arthur and the King has going for it really is the cast. And I'm including the dog in this because don't we all love a good dog actor, okay? But, the cast is really, really strong. Mark Wahlberg is great in it. Simu Liu is also great. There's just a lot of awesome relational moments in this film that are powerful. And the dog does do a really good job. You're always impressed that they can get the animals to do these incredible things. And it really actually makes you wonder, you're like, how in the world did this dog do this? How did this dog achieve these incredible feats? And I will say another thing that's great about these movies that is a strength of the film is that based on a true story nature, it's very heartwarming. This is a very heartwarming film. You feel really good in this film, and it has really great themes of perseverance and, sacrifice and pushing through when things are really, really difficult. This film talks a lot about pain and what it means to move through pain. And I think that's a really relevant topic today, and I enjoyed that. So let's talk about a couple of things that I didn't like. So there was actually several things I really didn't like in this movie. I will say, first of all, the cinematography was really weird. There were moments that were good, but it being an adventure film, there was a lot of shaky cam stuff, and it was too much. There was so many moments where I was feeling myself getting a little sick because of how shaky cam it was, and it was not enjoyable. There was just some weird camera work going on, which, is due to, obviously, the director, but also in post, so the editing is weird as well. And I will say from an editing standpoint, I just think the film builds fairly well in Act 1 and Act 2, but it really doesn't deliver in Act 3. There's just something about the energy and the pacing that don't follow through in Act 3 that I was a little bit bummed about. And I think that maybe it's because a lot of these films, they have times where you think that the film is going to end and it doesn't. And so, like, when you have that happening, it's messing with audiences' emotions, and it kind of can throw off the ending of a movie if not landed well. Another thing that just was a little rough was the writing in this film. They had moments in this film that they could have capitalized on from a writing perspective, and they didn't. And so, and you definitely feel those moments as an audience member. You're like, oh, I want to know more about that, but then you don't ever hear about it again. Or there's a key thing that happens to one of the race mates, and then it's kind of forgotten, and then you never hear about that again. And so when there's things that are dropped off and don't ever get tied up and they don't incorporate into the overall pace and the overall narrative of the film, it affects your enjoyment of the film, and typically is a reflection of the script. So let's talk about ratings and badge. So from an entertainment standpoint, I mean, the film is entertaining. It is heartwarming, like I said. And so I'd give it probably a 7 from an entertainment factor. It's like it was serviceable, and you enjoy watching it to a certain degree. I had some hangups, but it was fairly entertaining. From a critic standpoint, though, it just wasn't great. I mean, like I said, the camera work, the script not being as great, and then just some of the pacing issues in the film overall, and the editing as well. And so I'd probably give it a 5 out of 10 from a critic's rating. And so 6 out of 10 for Arthur and the King. And so I would say from a badge standpoint, this is absolutely a couch potato. It's a fun movie, and it's an animal lover movie. I mean, if you're an animal lover, you're going to enjoy this movie, but I still think it's worth just waiting for streaming for a movie like this. It's a good family movie. This is a good movie to watch with your family. Your kids are going to enjoy this movie. It's a great family night movie. Get your popcorn, get your ice cream, get your family together and watch Arthur the King. So if you enjoyed this video, drop a like. Would love for you to subscribe and join this journey with me. Drop in the comments and let me know what your favorite Marky Mark movie is. And until next time, everybody, peace out.